Hey everyone, Haitian Homie here, and welcome back to the latest weekly recap, where we go through everything that happened in Overwatch League and Contenders from Monday, January 28th, until Sunday, February 3rd. This week was kind of a slow week. Thursday was a really busy day, but overall it was a slow week, so this should go fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and dive right in, starting with Monday. This is a fun little bit of news. The Los Angeles Valiant dropped a super cool parody of The Office as a video in order to reveal their roster. It's really fun. I might play a little bit of it here. I'll link it in the description. If you like The Office and you happen to like Overwatch League, this is a really funny crossover with lots of fun references for the fans about like goats and brig and dive. Just fun little Easter eggs all throughout this video. It's very well done, really funny, and I hope we see more stuff like this in the future because it really kind of shows the personality of the team. I really enjoyed it. We're going to skip past Tuesday. Nothing of note really happened there as far as I'm aware. We move on to Wednesday, January 30th, where Mayhem Academy announced that they signed Mangachu to their Contenders roster. As you probably know, Mangachu used to play for XL2, but XL2 decided to rebrand with New York local talent, and all of their players were released. Mangachu deserves to be on a team, quite frankly, and I'm glad that he's signed to a team. Not thrilled that it's Mayhem Academy because I think he deserves better, but it's a team. I'm sure he's glad to be playing again, so congratulations to Mangachu. Speaking of the XL2 thing that happened, we move on to Thursday, January 31st, when XL2 announced that it signed its first 2 players for the new roster, and they are Korean, not New York, like, natives. So a lot of people assumed that when XL2 said they wanted to rebrand with New York, like, local talent, they assumed, like, New York natives, you know, Brooklyn natives, Manhattan natives, like, people who grew up there and played in ladder there, you know, that are New York born and raised. That's what everyone kind of assumed. Turns out XL2 either gave up on that really quickly or simply is referring to, as long as they live in New York currently, that makes them local New York talent. Because they signed Kirby and Yaki, 2 Korean players that, as far as I'm aware, currently live in New York to play Overwatch, I guess. I mean, like, it doesn't matter to me what New York, what the XL2 management decides to do with their team. If they fill it with Koreans, and that's cool. Like, if they fill it with New York natives, that's cool. I don't care where the players come from as long as they're good. But when you tell people we're going to rebrand and be straight New York, again, this is very off-putting. It's confusing. It's not clear what XL2 is trying to do. And it's a slap in the face to its previous players that if they said to, like, Mangachu or Tizzy or whoever, you know, everybody needs to move to New York, I'm sure that they probably would have done it if it meant they had a job, you know. Why they straight just dropped everybody and rebranded, it doesn't make sense to me is what it comes down to. But long story short, XL2 signed Kirby and Yaki, 2 Korean players, to their, quote, New York local roster, whatever. Moving on, let's get past that one. Also on Thursday, former 7 Lions and Team UK player Christopher joined the Fusion as a assistant coach. So last year after the World Cup, Christopher stepped down from playing Overwatch and transitioned into a coaching role, and I suppose that's been going pretty well for him because the Fusion have signed him as a assistant coach this year. So it's cool that he has, you know, Contenders and World Cup experience, and so he's moving up into Overwatch League. Congratulations. Hopefully he'll be a good addition for my boys, the Fusion, this year. Now down to the 2 biggest pieces of news from the week. Number 1, the All Access Pass for Twitch was revealed on Thursday, and it is going to be way better than last year's All Access Pass. So here's the deal. For $14.99, you can buy the Twitch All Access Pass, which will give you a load of super cool benefits. And I'm not one to, like, buy into premium editions of things, right? It's like, if I can buy a video game for $60 when it comes out, or I can get, you know, the limited edition with an art book and a collectible coin for another $20, I'm not going to do it. But this All Access Pass is fantastic, and here's why. The biggest draw is the command center that lets you choose your view of any player's camera during the game. So if you want to watch Pine frag out, you just click the Pine button at the top of the screen, and it'll let you watch Pine's perspective. If you want to watch Jonak do Jonak things, or if you want to watch Carpe, or whoever, you can watch them in the match. And this is really, really great from a spectator standpoint, because if you want to watch, a specific person that you think is interesting to watch, you can do that. Traditional sports don't allow you to do that. This is fantastic. And from a playing standpoint, I want to get better at Zarya and D.Va. I'm an off-tank main, right? I want to watch someone like Poco. I want to see what he's doing when the camera isn't on him. Because, yeah, making big plays, it's obvious what you have to do. You throw in a bomb and press Q. That's what he does. But what is he doing to set up that bomb placement that the camera isn't showing? How is he generating his ult charge? What little, whether it's like a boost into a melee thing, what am I not doing that I can learn from? And this will help us all get better. So that's the main draw, but there's more. You also get 200 Overwatch League tokens, which is a $10 value. I mean, that almost pays for itself. You get a coupon for 20% off Overwatch League merchandise, which we will talk about in a second. And then you get a bunch of like Twitch stuff, such as ad-free viewing, so you don't have to watch ads during Overwatch League. VIP chat, you can participate in Q&As, you can get some exclusive chat badges, just like the little virtual extras. But the big draws would be 20% off your merch, 200 Overwatch League tokens, which I already used to buy that super awesome Lucio emote, and then, of course, the command center view. I'm so excited for this because I think it will make a huge difference in how Overwatch League is viewed and how Overwatch as a whole can be played if we can learn from the pros as we watch the league. The final bit of news for Thursday is, of course, Fanatics and Overwatch League teamed up to set up a new merchandise store, and they dropped the first batch of merchandise on Thursday. A lot of it is very similar to last year. You've got some snapback hats, jerseys. They have just blank ones with the team name and logo, but nothing on the back. They have the jerseys with the player names on the back. They've got some general hoodies and t-shirts. Aside from that, as far as I know, the only new stuff would be a line of clothing about like city identity. It's very basic. So here's the thing. I want the Fanatics deal to be good. I'm just gonna cut through the BS here. This drop is kind of bad. A lot of people have said that the logos, the colors are off. I think the Fusion is fairly spot on, but like the Gladiators logo is wrong. I think the Valiant color was wrong. When they dropped the store, Sinatra's jersey wasn't even in it. It's wrong. The point of this Fanatics collaboration was to legitimize Overwatch League as a sport. Fanatics does NFL, MLB, NHL. They do all the traditional sports in the United States. And so you would expect, if this legitimizes Overwatch League, that the quality should be there, and it's not. There's not a lot to choose from. Granted, this is only the first batch of merchandise, but still, there's very, very little to choose from. And even the things you can choose from are very limited. For example, if you are a Hangzhou Spark fan and you don't want a jersey, let's say you just want a regular t-shirt, wouldn't it be cool to get a pink t-shirt? No, the color is white. Let's say you want to get a Valiant t-shirt. It comes in like a gray, kind of like hunter green color that's not even their team color. I can't get an orange Fusion shirt. The t-shirts are all kind of like black, white, or gray with a logo slapped on the front of it. It's very basic. You can go down to a print shop and get a logo slapped onto a gray t-shirt, and they're charging like $30 for these. It's very inconsistent. It's not high quality. I really hope that they improve the batches of things that come out later, different color shirts, different, scarves and gloves and hats, everything you can get for a football or baseball team. It would be fantastic to see here. I'm holding out for a personalized jersey, so I will wait on making my purchase, but when I do, I'm going to get a black Fusion jersey eventually, because I think my team's stuff is fairly straightforward. Like the Fusion logo isn't the wrong text or anything, but I really do feel bad for the people who aren't that fortunate, and they're scared to buy gear because it might come in the wrong color. So yikes, this isn't a good first look. But that's the merch drop. Finally, to close out the week, Sunday, February 3rd, the Los Angeles Gladiators and the Boston Uprising had a little bit of a Twitter beef because the Los Angeles Rams and the New England Patriots went to the Super Bowl. Patriots ended up winning, but here's what's interesting. The owner of the Los Angeles Gladiators also owns the Los Angeles Rams, and the owner of the Boston Uprising also owns the New England Patriots. And I think this is an interesting bit of news because, yeah, it let the brands and the teams have some fun on Twitter. You know, the Gladiators and the Uprising, they got together and had a watch party. It was fun, but really what's behind the scenes here is the business of it all. And this is what interests me and why I thought I'd mention it. Overwatch League, I mean, the people who are in this thing for the long haul, like Robert Kraft, you know, these are big names in the business of traditional sports. You know, you have people who are really convinced that Overwatch League is going to go the distance. These owners are in it for the long haul, and hopefully people in the outside world are starting to take notice that, hey, you've got winning teams in the NFL. You've also got teams coming up in esports leagues. You know, this should be taken note of. But, you know, it was fun to see. You know, honestly, the Twitter beef that the two teams had was probably more exciting than the game itself. It was pretty boring, but that's NFL. We can move on from that. Anyway, that is going to be it for this week's recap. Again, like I said, not a ton happened, just a few things here and there. The biggest drop is obviously that all-access pass with the command center view that I'm super excited for, and the merchandise drops, which I'm a little less excited for, but I hope that they'll get better as the season goes on. Thank you again for watching. Hopefully this got you caught up on what you may have missed this week as we move into the last couple weeks, the last full week before Overwatch League starts, since it comes back next week. We are almost there, so keep tuning in. I can't wait to continue the content throughout the season. Thank you for watching. This is the Haitian Homie signing off, and I'll see you all in the next video.